In the today's session, we are going to discuss super mesh. Super mesh is the concept. We are going to reduce the number of meshes available in the given network. So, thing is that how we are going to reduce the meshes, or we can say loops. Uh, which kind of networks are going to say that it is a super mesh? So, for that, there is a one independent current source is present between two loops. A super mesh is created from two meshes, or we can say from two loops that have a current source as a common element between them. So if it is so, then we are going to eliminate that current source which is present between the two loops. So by eliminating the current source which is present between the two loops, then those two loops becomes one loop. That loop is called as super mesh. That mesh is called as super mesh. Hence, super mesh is created from two meshes that have a current source as a common element. The current source is an interior of a super mesh. Thus, we are going to reduce the number of loops, or we can say number of meshes, by one for each current source present. So this concept will discuss with the help of an example. Find the currents, find the mesh currents, or we can say find the loop currents I1, I2, I3 for network shown below. So here the network is given. For this network, we have to find loop currents, or we can say mesh currents I1, I2, I3. It means I1 indicates it is the current which is present in the loop 1, I2 represents the which is the current present in the loop 2, and I3 is a current which is present in the loop 3. So respective loop currents. This is the given network. There are three loops: first loop, second, and third. And see here, there is a one current source is present, 1 ampere. 1 ampere is it is a branch. This is the branch. It is having only one current source. Okay, this is present between two loops. Now we have to eliminate this branch. The branch which is containing current source we have to eliminate. Then after eliminating the this loop acts as a super mesh, or we can say this mesh acts as a super mesh. So how we are going to do this one? Here we note that 1 ampere independent current source, this one, is in the common boundary of the two meshes, mesh number 1 and mesh number 2. The super mesh is indicated by the dotted lines. See, likewise. We'll discuss afterwards. So super mesh is indicated by the dotted lines shown below. Okay. The 1 ampere current source is this one removed from this circuit diagram, then applying cable around the dotted path which defines the super mesh using original mesh currents. So we are not altering any currents. This current is present with respect to this area, and this current is present with respect to this area. Only we are eliminating, we are removing the branch containing current source. So after removing this branch containing independent current source, then we are going to indicate by dotted lines for the super mesh. So here, all the see this branch is removed. With this area current I1 is present, with this area current I2 is present. So the dotted line indicated this dotted line acts as a super mesh. Okay, now from the equation, see, from the given network we can say that if you take I2 as the reference current, I2 is moving towards upwards, I2, the current I1 is moving opposite direction of I2. See, once again I'll repeat. If we taken the current I2 as a reference, so it is positive I2. And for this I2 current, the current I1 is flowing in the opposite direction. It acts as a minus. Hence, I2 minus I1 is equal to 1. And what will be the polarity of this current? See, the direction of the current source is upward. Because of that reason, we will take plus 1 ampere. Hence, I2 minus I1 is equal to 1 ampere. So, the constant equation from the given network, directly we can write I2 minus I1 equal to 1 ampere. Hence, I1 equal to, if you take other side of the equal, it becomes plus. Hence, I1 equal to I2 minus I1. Represent it as a equation number. This is the case. Same network we can analyze if you take I1 as the reference. We can analyze this one as in another way. If you take the current I1 as a reference, so it becomes plus I1. And what about it is flowing opposite of 1 ampere? So we'll discuss this concept in the another example. But time being, take that, assume that the current I2 is flowing upward. So we taken it as a reference point. Okay, hence it is a positive I2. I2 minus I1 equal to 1 ampere. That is I1 equal to I2 minus I1, equation number 1. Now apply the KVL to the super mesh. Apply the KVL to the super mesh. So let us start applying the KVL to the super mesh. Starting from here, the current I1 is, the head of the current I1 is pointing to negative polarity, hence minus 2 I1. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I3. The head of the arrow mark of I3 is pointing plus, hence plus 2 I3. Okay, coming to this branch. Okay, in this branch, current I2 is flowing, and head of the arrow mark of I2 is pointing to negative polarity, hence minus 1 is there, minus 1 I2, hence minus I2. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I3. The head of the arrow mark of I3 is pointing to plus polarity, hence plus 1 I3. Next, coming to here, in this branch, current I2 is flowing, hence minus 2 I2. And coming to here, voltage source is there, hence plus 2 equal to 0. So we applied the KVL to the super mesh and we got this equation. Further is simplification and substitution of current I1, hence minus 2 I1 as it is. Next is observe the coefficients of I2. Here minus 1 is there, here minus 2 is there, hence minus 3 I2. Next, coming to observe the coefficients of I3. Plus 2 plus 1 is there, hence plus 3 I3. I will take this 2 towards the other side of the equal sign, hence it becomes minus 2. We got minus 2 I1 minus 3 I2 plus 3 I3 is equal to minus 2. Okay, fine. But we know the value of I1. Already we calculated I1 equal to I2 minus I1. Let us substitute the value of I1 here. Hence minus 2 as it is. In place of I1, I am going to write I2 minus I1, the remaining part as it is. Next step is minus 2 I2, minus into minus plus 2, the remaining part as it is. Next, further simplification, observe the coefficients of I2 here. Minus 2 is there, minus 3 is there. So hence minus 5 I2 plus 3 I3. If I take 2 towards the other sign of equal, it becomes minus. Minus 2 minus 2, it becomes minus 4. Let us write this as a equation 2. Now apply the, so there initially there are 3 loops. Initially in the given network there are 3 loops. By eliminating the independent current source which is present between the 2 loops, which is present between the 2 meshes, then it becomes the super mesh, and we get only 2 loops now. One is super mesh and another one is loop number 3. So next is what? Apply the KVL to the loop 3, or we can say apply the KVL to the mesh 3. Apply the KVL to mesh 3. So what is that? Here the head of the arrow mark of current I3 is pointing to minus polarity, hence minus 1 I3, hence minus 1 I3. Okay, next branch is what? Here this one, minus 1 I3, minus 1 I3. But in the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is I2 is flowing. The head of the arrow mark is pointing to where? Plus, hence plus I2, plus I2. Coming to here, the head of the arrow mark of I3 is pointing to negative polarity of this branch, hence minus 2 I3, hence minus 2 I3. But in the same branch, one more current is flowing. This arrow mark head is pointing to plus polarity, hence plus 2 I1, hence plus 2 I1 is equal to 0. Next is simplification. Observe the coefficient of I1, only one term is there, 2 I1 as it is I written. Next, observe the coefficient of I2. I2 is only one term, I written as it is, I2. Next, coming to the coefficient of I3, minus 1, minus 1, minus 2. So minus 4 I3 is equal to 0. But we know the value of I1, that is I1 equal to I2 minus I1. Let us substitute here. In place of I1, if I substitute I2 minus I1, next further simplification, 2I2 minus 2 plus remaining part as it is plus I2 minus 4I3 equal to 0. So the coefficients of I2, 2 and 1, that is 3I2 minus 4I3. I will take this 2 towards other sign of equal. It becomes plus 2. Let us represent it as a equation number 3. Okay. I1 equal to I2 minus 1 is there. So in equation 2 and equation 3, there are two unknowns, I2 and I3. So let us make use of calculator. Otherwise, let us make use of Cramer's rule. Find the value of I2 and I3. Then easily we can calculate the value of I1, because I1 equal to what? We express the current I1 in terms of I2 minus I1. If you know the value of I2, definitely we are going to get the value of I1. So from equation 2 and 3, there are two unknowns, that is current I2 and I3. You may use the calculator for the calculation of these two currents. Otherwise, you may use the Cramer's rule. Using the Cramer's rule, first I will write, first row entries are the coefficients of I2 and I3 of equation 2, that is minus 5, minus 3. Next row is the coefficients of I2 and I3 of equation 3. The coefficient of I2 is 3. The coefficient of I3 is minus 4. I2, I3. Then constant terms are minus 4 and 2. So first I will find the determinant. I will take this, find the determinant, minus 5, 3, 3, minus 4. Minus 5 into minus 4, minus into minus plus, 5 into 4, 20. Minus 3 into 3, 9. Hence 20 minus 9, it is 11. D equal to, determinant is 11. Next, we want to calculate the I2. I2 is what? D2 by D. Hence, D2 we have to calculate. D2 means this entries, this column is replaced by the constant values. Constant values are what? Minus 4 and 2. This column is replaced by minus 4 and 2. The remaining column as it is, 3 and 4. Minus 4 into minus 4, minus into minus plus, 4 into 4, 16. Minus 3 into 2, 6. 16 minus 6 is 10. Hence, D2 is 10. Next, calculation of D3. D3 means this column entries are replaced by the constant values. Constant values are minus 4 and 2. So this is replaced by minus 4 and 2. Hence, determinant becomes D3 equal to minus 5, 3 as it is. This is replaced by minus 4 and 2. Hence, next simplification, minus 5 into 2, minus 10, minus of in the inside the bracket, minus 4 into 3, minus into minus plus, 4 into 3, 12. Hence minus 10 plus 12, that is 2. So next, the calculation of the currents. I2 is the ratio of D2 by D. D2 is calculated 10 by D. D is 11. 10 by 11, that is 0.9090. Hence we calculated current I2, that is 0.909 amperes. Next, calculation of I3. I3 equal to D3 by D. D3 is 2. D is 11. 2 by 11. Answer is I3 equal to 0.1818 amperes. So we calculated two unknowns, I2 and I3, left with what? Current I1. I1 equal to what? I2 minus I1 is there. So I2 minus 1 is there. Substitute the value of I2 here. I2 is what? 0.909 minus 1. Hence I1 equal to minus 0.091 amperes. Hence we got all the three unknowns. Mesh currents, I1 equal to minus 0.091 amperes, I2 equal to 0.909 amperes, I3 equal to 0.1818 amperes. All these three currents we calculated, I1, I2, I3. This is about the given network, calculation of mesh currents, I1, I2, I3. So likewise, we will take one more example. For the network shown below, find the mesh currents I1, I2, I3. This is the given network. In this given network also there are three meshes, or we can say three loops. Mesh number 1, mesh number 2, consecutive meshes. Why I have taken this 2? Because in between these two meshes current source is present. Mesh number 1, mesh number 2, mesh number 3. See, observe here, current source is present between these two loops, or current source, independent current source is present between these two meshes. Hence we have to eliminate this branch, eliminate the branch which is containing the current source. It is the common boundary, right? Common current source which is present between these two loops. So I'm going to eliminate this branch. Then this part will act as a super mesh. This part will act as a super mesh. Now after eliminating this current source, I am going to represent the super mesh by the dotted lines. Here I written same thing. The 5 ampere current source is in the common boundary of two meshes. The branch having the 5 ampere current source is removed from the circuit diagram. Then applying the KVL around the dotted path which defines the super mesh. Okay, using the original mesh currents. In this area, in this area, the current I1 is flowing. In this area, current I2 is flowing. So the same thing is written here using the original mesh currents. So after eliminating this branch containing independent current source, then the network becomes, the circuit becomes like this. See, this is the given network. In this network, current 5 ampere is present. I am going to eliminate this branch. After eliminating, so we are getting the network like this. So this is nothing but super mesh. This is nothing but super mesh. The dotted line will indicate super mesh. Now apply the KVL. Before applying KVL, from the given network, the constraint equation I am going to write. So I have taken current I2 as a reference. It is moving like this. I have taken the current I2 as a reference. So it becomes plus I2. The current I1 is moving opposite to of I2. So in the opposite direction it is moving. I will take minus I1. So I2 minus I1. But the direction of the current is downwards. Because of that reason, I have taken the minus 5 amperes. So here I have taken the reference current I2 as a reference current. So plus I2. Current I1 is moving in the opposite direction of I2. So I will take minus I1 is equal to 5 amperes. But the direction of the 5 amperes is downwards. Because of that reason, minus 5 amperes. Hence I1 equal to what? If you take I1 towards other side of equal, it becomes plus. If you take 5 minus 5 towards left side of equal, it becomes plus 5. Hence I1 equal to I2 plus 5. I1 equal to I2 plus 5. Okay, let us represent as a equation number 1. Now the next step is apply the KVL to the super mesh, then followed by apply the KVL to the loop number 3. Same procedure. Okay, before tell me apply the KVL to the super mesh. So starting from here we can write minus, this is I1, minus I1. In the same branch one more current is flowing, plus I3, minus I1 plus I3. Next coming to here, current I2 is flowing, minus 3 I2. In the same branch one more current is flowing, plus 3 I3. Next here, minus 2 I2 is plus 10 equal to 0. So same thing I written. So minus I1 plus I3 minus 3I2 plus 3I3 minus 2I2 plus 10 equal to 0. Now rearrange the terms and simplify, add the coefficients of same currents. Minus 1 as it is because only one term is there. Next go for I2. How many I2 terms are there? There are 2 I2 terms. Add the coefficients. Minus 3 minus 2, it becomes minus 5 I2. Now observe the how many terms are for I3. There are 2 terms for I3. Add the coefficients. 1 plus 3, 4, 4 I3. I will take right side of equal this 10, it becomes minus 10. Hence, minus I1 minus 5I2 plus 4I3 is equal to minus 10. Fine. But the value of I1 is already we calculated, that is I2 plus 5. Let us substitute and remaining part as it is. Minus I2 minus 5, this remaining part as it is. Next simplification, add the coefficients of I2, minus 1 minus 5 minus 6I2 plus 4I3. If I take this 5 towards right side of equal, it becomes plus. So minus 10 plus 5, it becomes minus 5. Let us represent as equation number 2. Now apply the KVL to the loop number 3. Loop number 3 means this one. So it is what? Apply the KVL, minus 2I3. Only one current is flowing in this branch. Now coming to here, minus 3I3. In the same branch, one more current is flowing. It is pointing to here, plus 3I2 as coming to here, minus 1I3. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, plus 1I3 is equal to 0. Okay. Minus, apply the KVL to the mesh 3, minus 2I3 minus 3I3. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, plus 3I2 minus I3. In the same branch, one more current is flowing, that is plus I1 is equal to 0. Now first write the coefficient of I1. I1, okay, I1 equal to what? I2 plus 5. Next, the coefficients of I2 are only one term, that is 3I2. The coefficients of I3, minus 2 minus 3 minus 5 and minus 1, that is minus 6I3. 3I2 minus 6I3. In place of I1, I substituted I2 plus 5 equal to 0. Then observe the coefficients of I2, 3 plus 1, 4I2 minus 6I3. If I take 5 right side of equal, it becomes minus 5. Let us write it as a equation number 3. So we represented equation 2 in terms of I2 and I3, as well as we represented equation 3 in terms of I2 and I3. Make use of calculator, otherwise making use of Cramer's rule. I'm going to write the coefficients of equation 2. The coefficients of I2 and I3 of equation 2 are minus 6 plus 4. The coefficients of I2 and I3 of equation 3 are 4 minus 6 multiplied by I2, I3, that is equal to constant terms, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5, minus 5. Okay. Next is calculation of D, because we have to calculate I2 and I3. Then I1 equal to what? Already we know that I1 equal to I2 plus 5 is there. If we calculate I2 and I3, then easily we can calculate the remaining current I1. So first determine, find the determinant, that is determinant of this one, that is minus 6 into minus 6 plus into, sorry, minus into minus plus 6 into 6, 36, minus 4 into 4, 16. 36 minus 16, it is 20. Now calculation of D2. Calculation of D2 means let us remove this column by replacing constant elements. If I remove minus 6, 4 by minus 5, then the remaining column as it is 4 and minus 6, minus into minus plus 5 into 6, that is 30, minus of minus plus 4 into 5, 20. So 30 plus 20, it is 50. Next, coming to calculation of D3. D3 means first column as it is, this column is replaced by, constant elements, that is minus 4 and minus 6 is replaced by minus 5 and minus 5, minus into minus plus 6 into 5, 30, minus of minus, it is plus 5 into 4, 20, 30 plus 20, 50. D2 is also 50, D3 is also 50. Next calculation of I2. I2 is the ratio of D2 by D. D is 50, D2 is 50 divided by 20. So 5 by 2, 0, 0 get cancels. 5 by 2, 2.5 amperes. Next calculation of I3. I3 is equal to what? It is the ratio of D3 by D. D3 is calculated, that is 50. 50 by 20, 0, 0 get cancels. 5 by 2, 2.5 amperes. Next, the left with current I1. I1 is the expression I1 equal to I2 plus 5. I2 is calculated 2.5 plus 5, that is 7.5. Hence, the mesh currents for the given network using super mesh concept we calculated as I1 equal to 7.5 amperes, I2 equal to 2.5 amperes, and I3 equal to 2.5 amperes. Likewise, we have to analyze the given network in terms of super mesh concept. Thank you.